I have Nancy Grace on the phone right now. She wants to tell all of us something very, very important. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Jane. It's just so good to hear your voice.
Good to hear
I
your
wanted to
voice.
tell everyone how much I really have missed being on the air and following our stories. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. I was on the air just a few weeks ago and had celebrated John David and Lacey's 3rd birthday. And we were so happy. And the next day, I had a doctor's appointment, and it was a routine appointment, and I almost didn't go because I had been in August and everything was fine. But I just went on a hunch, and during the examination, it's that moment that you see in movies and you hear about that always happens to somebody else, but not to you. And the nurse was doing an ultrasound, and Jean, we were talking about where our children might go to school and their ages, and all of a sudden she just stopped talking and was looking at the screen, and I looked back at her, and I looked at the screen, and it meant nothing to me, and I said, "What is it?" And she told me she had to go get the doctor. And the doctor came in, and he said we needed to go talk in his office. And I knew then that something was really wrong. He was very calm and very honest, and he told me that they had discovered a mass, a solid mass. It was not liquid, it was not fibrous, and could be cancer. And it just seemed like the world just stopped because, when you wait a long time for happiness, to have the twins, it always feels like it could just be taken away. And so for the next week, I did our show, bolstered by the prayers of my family and the people that knew and loved me and got through the week. They said they wouldn't know anything until we had the surgery. And my husband, David, was there that morning, and I got to be with the twins that morning. And then my mother and father, my brother and his wife came, and my sister in California was praying, and they peeled off to go get pancakes and play, and I peeled off to go to the hospital. And I remember looking at them as I drove away. Lucy. But somehow I did not feel alone, Jane.
You weren't
I
alone,
felt God
Nancy.
with me. And I went into surgery. And of course they want to sedate you so you're not upset. But I told them I did not want anything. I wanted to see everything that was happening till the very last moment. And I remember looking back at David going down the hall. And as I went under, they said, "Think of your favorite place. Where do you like to be?" And I said, "Home." And during surgery, Jane, there were various complications as a result of my cesarean when I gave birth. And it ended up being a really long surgery, hours, and in the end, God answered our prayers. And I'm out of the hospital, and I'm back with the twins, and it was not cancer. So I come away with two things. Not only do I miss everyone very much, my staff and the viewers who call in and watch every night have prayed for me since I first got pregnant with the twins. But these are the two things I want to share tonight. One, please, ladies, go to your doctors. I was the lucky one. And number two, and most important, I had a great feeling of peace that everything would be all right, and I was not alone. God was with me from the very beginning, and throughout the night, that night, after I came out of surgery, we were up all night. David fell asleep in a chair beside the bed. He was there with me in that room. And I appreciate everyone's prayers. I felt them. And they told me I would be out for a long, long time, but I have great faith that I'll be back next week. And Jane, thank you so much for filling in for me.
Nancy, it's my honor. And Nancy, you are helping so many people tonight. You said you went to a routine appointment, so you didn't have any symptoms at all?
No, Jane, I didn't. I just kept having a hunch, a feeling that I needed to go back. I had been in August. Jane, it was not there in August. And the doctors were very concerned about the rapid, aggressive growth of this mass, a solid mass. And
how did you keep it secret? Because you did.
You know what?
You knew what was happening.
I prayed. I prayed. And I felt very strongly that it was going to be okay. And that I also believe that worrying about it, after I felt God's peace, I felt that worrying about it was just giving into the devil. I really did. I could not go through each day waiting for surgery, worried that I would not be with Lucy and John David and Dave anymore. I couldn't. I couldn't do our show. I couldn't focus on the cases, thinking that I had to believe that it would be okay. And it was. I'm the lucky one. I'm the blessed one. And it was just a hunch, Jane. This could happen to anybody. And as I was being rolled down that hall, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how much longer I would get to be with my family.
And you know, Nancy, knowing you as I do, you were worried about your family. You were worried about your mom and your dad and your husband. How did your parents endure this?
Well, my father didn't take it very well at all. My mother is the strong one. My father, I think one of the only times I broke down and cried was when I talked to him.
Yeah.
My sister and brother were very strong. But I think what bothered me most was thinking about watching the twins on the other side of life and seeing them grow up without a mother. And I think about it so many times on our show because we have stories of children that have endured so much and don't have anybody that loves them. And I just hated the thought that the twins would grow up without a mother.
Yeah. Well, they won't because you're fine and you're here and you're convalescing. Nancy, we've got some callers that really want to talk to you. Is that okay?
Oh, sure, thanks.
All right. Julie in Kentucky. Hi, Julie. You want to talk to Nancy?
Yeah, I would love to. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Julie.
Hi. Just wanted to say we love you so much, and you're in our thoughts and prayers, and you are a very strong lady, so we have faith in you, and you're going to be okay, and you just keep your head up and keep doing what you're doing. We love
I will, and I feel very confident, and I had two of the greatest doctors. It was Michael Dawson and Matthew Burrell over at Northside Hospital, and they were just wonderful. My pastors were there with David, and I'm so happy because my family was taking care of the twins, and nobody was there with him. His family was praying, of course, but very few people had found out that I got an email, Jean, from my mom from our little church in Macon. And it said that a hallelujah went up when they got the good news.
The power of prayer, Nancy. Nancy,
Jane, you're so right.
Was it a gynecologist that you went to for that routine exam?
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't. In fact, I thought I was going to a woman. I just picked one out of, when you're on these insurance plans, you pick one in the network, and I just showed up. And I dropped the twins at play school for a couple of hours, and of course, spied on him for a few minutes to make sure everything was fine, and then just went to the doctor and knew that I'd be back in an hour to get him, and then everything changed in that 1 hour.
Oh.
And I can still remember driving back, trying to figure out what to do, and picking them up and trying to walk them from their class to the car, and just crying.
And you were in shock.
I guess I was. All I could imagine was who was going to pick them up, and who was going to take care of them, and who was going to decorate the house for Christmas and help them, and who would be there. And it's just very, very disturbing and upsetting. But the good news is that it's fine, and I just want to say one more time, the most important thing that I learned, Jane, is we are not alone, and I am not alone.
Yes. Yes, and to all the women out there, you want them to go to the doctor.
Oh, yes, I do.
Go.
And this was just on a hunch. And if anyone is listening tonight, please go now. I never get the opportunity to put the twins down to bed at night. So I'm going to go and read them about 15, 20 stories before they finally fall asleep.
And it was an ultrasound. An
Yeah.
ultrasound that found it.
It was.